All right, so this is the first recording of the Personal Foul podcast with your hosts, Dakota Morales and Brandon O'Neill. You're the fucking best! Ah! I should have gotten like a bra down here and like thrown it at myself. All right, Brandon, tell the people what the podcast is about.
About the Guineas Mix and Spicks Fantasy Football League. It's a family football league where we just play fantasy football, make fun of each other, and it's a great time. I started off with the league with my brother. We were a dual team until about 2 years ago. We split ways. Of course, after that, he won. I haven't won since.
Fucking handicap.
Ed joined last year, and how's your experience been?
It's insane. This league is completely insane. It's like probably nothing I've ever been a part of. I don't know if you mentioned this. That league's been around for what, 15, 20 years?
The league? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So it started off Brandon's family, uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews, brothers, sisters, cousins, cousin wives, cousin husbands, whatever. Fucking, white people get weird. So Brandon, when did you guys actually join, you and Jay?
Probably about 8 years ago.
That's
Philip Rivers was our quarterback when he was actually a decent quarterback.
So his rookie year. Got it. All right.
Back when he only had 2 kids.
Yeah, probably what it was. Well, I mean, the way I see it is, he started deciding that he wanted to throw a pick per child. And it just keeps multiplying at this point. Guinea Mix and Spicks League. So this is an introduction to the owners. So obviously you have Brandon and myself. Brandon, who's, been in it for 8 years and never won. Me, who's only been in it for a year, was kind of basically the top third of the entire league for like the first half of the year.
Then you fell off after you made a trade with me. I know.
Everyone decided to die. That was the problem.
When we traded, when you gave me Nick Chubb.
It wasn't. Marlon Mack got injured. That was my number one running back. He was crushing it for me. Alvin Kamara, literally, I don't even think he played this year. When he was out there, he sure as hell wasn't playing.
Then you also have Uncle Billy, who's been in this since the beginning. He's got 5 wins. Sean,
Yep.
who's also been in this from the beginning, he's got 3 wins, including last year, which was an amazing comeback after losing both of his quarterbacks, Roethlisberger and Breeze, in the same week.
5 quarterbacks.
Jason, who's won 3 times, including one right after I left, right after we split up. Tommy, who's won 2. Bobby, who's won 1. We have another owner, Danny. He's won none. Brittany and Chris, they both won 0. They're called the Coupos.
Those are the Coupos.
Those are the Coupos.
Everybody else is an O'Neill. Well, except Billy.
And you.
But he's not Billy. But yeah, so those are the owners. Everybody's, been in it for a very long time. So I'm the new kid on the block, crushing it all day. You already know. So let's see. So a couple fun facts about the owners. Uncle Billy loves to harass us with trade offers. He will call you at 1:00 in the morning and try to convince you that one of your players might die on the field and you should trade him before it happens. I don't remember who he said that about, but I'm pretty sure he said that about Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah, no, he loves Cooper Kupp.
He tried to get Cooper Kupp from me all year. I should have gave him up after the first half, but anyways, besides the point. So that's Uncle Billy. The Coupos, as Brandon say, are not good. Not good. I mean, trading DeAndre Hopkins for who was it?
Mecole Hardman from the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The 6th.
DeAndre Hopkins for Mecole Hardman.
The 6th wide receiver on that team.
Yep, that happened.
Yep. Then you wonder why they come in last place and then think everybody else is cheating.
But yeah, let's see. Jason is the like fantasy football like stat computer. Like the kid just remembers way too much random shit.
He picks up all the people that nobody knows, and all of a sudden they have a big week.
Yeah. So for the viewers out there, Jason is Brandon's brother. He will at some point be on this podcast if we decide to let him be because he's a trash person. So we'll see. And then, like I said, Sean is the mastermind behind the rules, so you can obviously tell what kind of mentality he has. Then we have Brandon and Jay's dad, Tommy. He is a lot like both of them. He knows way too much about football. He knows like years and just numbers for everyone. Let's see, who else? Oh, Bobby, your uncle Bobby.
Oh yeah.
He will pressure you. He will pressure you into believing that you're a fake fan for not drafting someone on his team.
Well, no, he
I
tried to trade your Carson
guy,
Wentz. How many times?
I bleed green. Philly for life. Eagles all day. Fly, Eagles, fly. I will not draft Carson Wentz.
He tried trading me Sam Darnold, telling me that he was better than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he told me that I was a fake Eagles fan because I didn't take Carson Wentz and give him, I want to say Kamara and someone else.
That sounds about right.
Like, just it's wild. Then we have your Uncle Danny. He's quiet,
Very quiet.
very, very quiet, very
He
reserved.
goes, no, he fucks with you a lot. So
Yeah. Let's see, and then Uncle Billy. Uncle Billy's the man. He is. He has the most entertaining stories, the most entertaining personality, and I am looking forward to having him on the show because you guys are gonna learn some shit about fantasy football. um, let's see. All right, so this podcast, our goal is basically to talk about the league, discuss basically anything to do with fantasy football.
we can help
You
anybody out if you guys need it. You can send us a message on Twitter or Facebook, and we'll try and help you out as best we can on the podcast.
Yes, we have the Twitter, the Personal Foul Podcast Twitter.
Yes.
Yes, so we have the at Personal Foul Podcast. We will have a Twitter set up for that. We have a Facebook set up. You will see the image at some point on here, hopefully. We have a YouTube channel, which is going to have this video. We
Personal
would
Foul Podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, Personal Foul Podcast on YouTube is very simple. Explain. So the Guineas Mix and Spicks Fantasy Football League starts off during the summer. They have an owners meeting. This shit is legit. Like if you've ever watched the league, this is how it works. So they have an owners meeting. They talk about the rules, all that stuff. Eat a lot of food. You know,
Best part.
that's pretty much what everybody does. After that, we have the draft. When was that? August, September?
August is draft. Probably last week of August.
Yeah, last week of August. Everybody convenes at Uncle Billy's house down by the beach. And it's just a lot of food, a lot of people, crazy time. Then we all sit in a room and literally talk shit about every single draft pick that happens. Not even one goes by that someone didn't say something. And in this league, there is a whole list of rules. It's completely insane. It's a shit ton of rules. I know I was crazy overwhelmed when I first saw them. I don't know about Brandon. How did you guys feel when you first saw the rules?
It's actually not bad when you actually look at it. The first part of the rules is owners. It's all about your contact information, what you must have on there, all stuff like that. This one's a good one. Out of respect for the family, spouses, and children are off limits on the message board. So
Now, remember, this specifically says spouses and children are off limits. I can say whatever I goddamn please about your parents, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, your nieces, your nephews.
then,
Spouse.
Everything else explains like the roster, how many you could have at each position to start. You can only have 7 bench players. The scoring, offensive categories, defensive categories. It's really not that much. He just breaks it down, make it easier for everybody.
Yeah. So people, when I joined last year, I got an email with an outline. Like this is like some 5th grade essay writing, like book report shit. Like this outline was no joke. Like I still don't actually understand all the rules. But the way it works is we use a website called onroto.com. It's rotisserie style drafting. So that means that the moment that you draft, everything matters. Everything matters. So it's a full year. So basically, your quarterbacks have to stay on top all year round. Your running backs have to stay on top all year round. Your wide receivers have to stay on top all year round.
Don't draft Baker Mayfield.
Don't draft Baker Mayfield. Brandon should have known that, but he's dumb. Bad fantasy football person. Don't listen to him. He's trash. You'll see later on he gives himself shitty odds because he's garbage. But anyways, besides that, so basically with that website, it's not like normal fantasy football or standard leagues where you go head to head against one person. Every team is against each other, and there's 10 owners, right?
9 right now.
9 right now. Wait, why are there 9? I thought there were 10.
No, it's always been 9.
Oh, all right. Fuck me very much. So there's 9 owners. No, you're not allowed to join. Don't even ask. Don't worry about it. You have to kill somebody before you get in there. All right? Don't ask me who I killed to get in. Just know it happened. You know Brian's gonna have to arrest me now.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So yeah, so like I said, it's been going on for 15 years. We have some crazy characters in our league, and you will definitely meet some of them as our podcast goes on. They have subtly agreed to join in on the podcast on certain episodes. We have to convince them to actually do it.
They agreed.
All the things that are happening. We will also have the man behind the outline, Sean, Brandon's cousin. He will be joining our podcast at some point this season because he is the creator of the rules, sort of, or the keeper of the rules, really, right?
Pretty much. He's the commissioner of the whole league.
Yeah, he's the
commissioner. Oversees everything.
So he is the mastermind behind it. And also for the league, it is a $100 buy-in.
$150 buy-in.
It's a $100 buy-in.
I think you're wrong.
Is next year $150 buy-in?
No, it's $150.
Didn't I only pay $100?
No, it was 150.
$150. Haha, take my money. So yeah, it's a $150 buy-in. Then literally you have to pay for everything. When you pick people up, when you trade.
$5 a move per waiver wire pickup.
Yeah, $5 per wire pickup.
And it's $10 a trade.
So you best draft good.
Yep.
Just saying. Brandon can attest. He's trash at it.
Don't take Baker Mayfield.
I know. Yeah, Baker Mayfield would completely screw you.
Or you could trade Mecole Hardman for DeAndre Hopkins, for pretty much nothing.
What I learned, my most important lesson from this year, was it's okay to draft a white running back. Because I drafted Kamara thinking, no way is a white running back going to do anything. And that was my biggest mistake.
McCaffrey went nuts.
Yeah, McCaffrey did go nuts. I'm just saying, I would have won the league with that one move because he got more receiving yards than anyone else on my team.
That's bad.
No, Julio Jones did really well for me. Cooper Kupp started the year off great for me. I was doing really well at wide receivers. And then Cooper Kupp decided, hey, by the way, I'm white in the NFL. I suck.
Not the same for McCaffrey.
Yeah, seriously.
So basically with the waiver wire, every Tuesday at 6 o'clock p.m. on the dot, that's when all the waiver wires go through, all the pickups and drops. Then every day after, every time at 6 o'clock, no matter who you pick up, that's when it goes in. It goes in order from last place to first place. So everybody has an even shot at getting the player they want.
There's a crap ton of limitations on how many people you can have. Apparently, you can hold like 5 quarterbacks and screw everybody that needs a quarterback. We learned that from Sean this past year. That's right, Sean. I'm talking about you.
But that goes back to drafting good. Somebody didn't draft a backup quarterback.
I drafted a backup quarterback. It was Eli Manning.
Well, why would you do that?
I don't know. Maybe because he played for the last 20 years.
He's like 40 years old.
All of a sudden, no, Daniel Jones. And he was a backup. Who gave a shit? I was going to crush it. Kyler Murray, you were supposed to be my dude. Didn't he win Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, I believe so.
Fucking trash. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You're still trash. Because you completely screwed me the first half of the year. Let's see. Who else screwed me? Jacoby
Brissett.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett on Indianapolis. Yep. Thanks for that. But anyways, besides that, we're getting a little salty right now. Oh, shit.
Can't keep the same player that you kept last year.
Yes. So, keepers in this league are very important. You have to position yourself the right way at the end of the year to make sure you have a keeper. You cannot keep the same keeper year to year. And for anybody who doesn't know, a keeper is basically someone that you're keeping from your fantasy team for the next year, and that is basically your first round pick.
Yes, pretty much.
So the keepers are very important. I have a big decision ahead of me. I have to choose between Kyler Murray and Julio Jones. So
everybody in the league already knows. Mine's going to be Lamar Jackson.
Yes, because Brandon really believes that Lamar Jackson is going to go off again 2 years in a row, the number 1 quarterback.
Yep.
Well, actually, number 1 running back, really.
I think I have everybody's team figured out of who they're going to keep. I believe Brittany, if you look at her team, she really doesn't have a keeper except for Russell Wilson. It's the only person she's.
But she kept him last year.
No, she kept DeAndre Hopkins. He traded a keeper for a 6th.
Maybe she's gonna keep. Obviously, very important to her.
Uncle Billy, I'm gonna say he's going with Christian McCaffrey.
Obviously.
Uncle Danny. Uncle Danny's is weird. He's either gonna go between, I think, Amari Cooper and Travis Kelce.
All right. Well, he's a Dallas fan. He's gonna go.
So I'm gonna say Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
My dad probably, who is Tommy. He's probably gonna keep Michael Thomas.
I don't think Thomas is gonna be that great this year.
I don't know. He's talking a lot of shit on Twitter.
He talks a lot of shit on Twitter.
Sean. Who did Sean keep? I think he kept Breeze. So if he kept Breeze, he's probably gonna keep Roethlisberger this year. Oh, or Derrick Henry. I'm gonna go with Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, definitely.
Derrick Henry. Jay, he can't keep Patrick Mahomes. Since
he should keep Breeze though.
He can't. No, he kept Breeze.
Oh, he kept Breeze last year. That's right.
Jay can't keep Patrick Mahomes. It's gonna be his first year in like 2 years without Patrick Mahomes. So I'm gonna say he's probably gonna keep Tyreek Hill.
Why would you keep Tyreek Hill?
That's really.
It's not
only keeper.
He's gonna get injured again. Fail again.
Uncle Chris. Okay. So his keeper's gonna have to be Matt Ryan. His team was really shit. Oh, bad. He had DK Metcalf actually starting and Ted Ginn Jr.
That's maybe he might keep Metcalf. I saw Metcalf run up a gravel mound as exercise. So
Uncle Bobby. Who does he? I think he's gonna keep Nick Chubb most likely. And you're either Murray or Jones, so I don't know that one.
What happened?
You're either Murray or Jones.
Yeah, I'm still deciding on that one. The problem with Jones is he doesn't score touchdowns. He never scores touchdowns.
He gets all the yards, but they don't throw them in the end zone.
Yeah. It's fuck. And like his receptions, like he's just not even getting that many receptions anymore. He's getting yardage. Yeah. He's doing great after the catch, but it's just like so the league itself has categories where you have like receptions, reception yardage, receiving touchdowns.
Let me bring those up because then I can talk about the bonus categories too.
Yeah, you have like for the running backs, it's basically running yards, touchdowns, blah blah blah. But there's just categories that you have to stay on top of for every player, and then there's bonus categories where if it's like a 50-yard field goal or a receiver goes off for like 250 yards, a quarterback goes off for 400 yards or 450 yards, something like that.
All right, so we have, so you get, we do have 10 people in this league. Okay. So standings by category, you basically get 1 point to 10 points. 10 points being the best, 1 point being the lowest. You want to get as many of the best points as you can in each category, to make sure you stay up top in the standings. Passing attempts, passing yards, rushing attempts, rushing yards, pass receptions, receiving yards, kicker points. You get, I think it's 3 points every field goal and 1 point every extra point. 50-yard touchdowns, which if you have Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, you did pretty good. I climbed to the top of that because I had Derek Carr throwing to Waller, and I had Lamar Jackson, of course, running for all over the place. Defense is, this is where I like this: yards allowed against defense and points allowed, but then you got turnovers. So if your quarterback throws a pick, like Baker Mayfield, if he throws a pick and then your defense gets a pick, it cancels each other out. But if you're Baker Mayfield and you throw 5 picks and your defense only gets 1 pick, you got 4 turnovers on you.
Baker Mayfield had like 30.
We keep offensive points, which is how many touchdowns your team scores and field goals and extra points. Now bonus categories, you get $10 per bonus category.
This is per owner, so that basically means if for like field goals, if it's a 50-yard field goal, you get what, $5?
It's $10.
$10. You get $10 from every owner.
I think it's a 60-yard field goal. Yeah, 60-yard field goals.
50-yard field goal from every owner, you get $10. So those bonus categories are huge at the end of the year, which is funny because if you looked at our standings from last year, Brandon got like 6th or 7th place or something, but he got I think $30.
Yeah, I won money. I
He
didn't know
won,
anything.
but then the person in like 4th place lost money. So
bonus categories are huge too, especially if you're not doing so good in the standings. You can always win money in the bonus categories.
but yeah,
5 touchdowns in a game get you one. Receiving yards, I think that's 200 receiving yards you have to go over. Long field goal is 60 yards. Rushing yards, I believe it's over 200 or 250. It's one of them. Passing yards is you have to throw for 450 passing yards. I think Jay last year, I think Mahomes threw for like 448 to one game. So he's
yeah,
pissed he missed by 2 yards.
yeah, that usually is what happens. All right, so now Brandon's gonna tell us about his odds, that he did research on, and he believes that these are the people that are going to win next year.
So I base this off of how everybody did last year, how many times they won basically in the league, and
then in 1 year,
and basically how their team looks and how I think their keepers are going to go. I think Sean's got 5-1 odds, as does Billy. Jason, I believe, has 8-1 odds. Tommy has 10-1. Uncle Bobby has 10-1. I have 15-1. Ed has 15-1. Uncle Danny has 20-1. And Chris has 25-1. Brittany has 50-1. They're basically long shots.
So thankfully we're not betting because I'd be in first and I'd win money. Just saying.
That's probably not going to happen.
But yeah, so that's the breakdown of the league. That is the breakdown of how it works. We've introduced the owners, talked about how the league actually works, and the scoring system, and the money system. So we've discussed all the things about the league. The other thing we want to do with this podcast is definitely talk about fantasy football, where we think players are going, We definitely want to look at rookies this year, talk about the draft and how that went for every team. Definitely want to discuss after preseason because everybody knows that preseason is a joke, and that's usually when people get injured.
Yep.
Especially with the whole Corona thing. God knows what's going to happen with preseason this year. It's going to be really weird. A lot of people haven't been working out the way they're supposed to.
When's our next podcast going to be? It's probably going to be right before the draft, right? And then we'll do one after.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll try to do like a monthly one and then weekly after
Yeah.
the draft or after the game start. But yeah, just so we can keep everybody up to date. And then, like we said, we definitely want questions. Definitely discuss with us what you want to hear in the podcast. What do you want to hear about? To be honest, we don't completely give a shit about anybody's opinion except our own, but we might add it in. We are bad people. We like to make fun of people, and that's just who we are as people.
If you're sensitive, don't watch this.
Yeah. I think I might actually put that at the beginning.
Warning, like a disclaimer.
Yeah. Disclaimer: if sensitive, please turn off now.
I like that.
But yeah, so this is the podcast. This is the Personal Foul podcast. Something fun that we decided to do. And let's see how it goes. So this is us signing off. Outro. Thank everyone for listening, watching our first of many episodes. Did you actually put that on the outline?
Goddamn right I did.
Thank you everyone for listening and watching our first of many episodes. According to Brandon.
Was that hard?
It was so difficult to say.
Fucking printed a screenshot.
Yeah, he did.
You're a basic bitch.
All right, people. This is Ed signing off. That's Brandon.
Adios, guys.
All right. See you guys.